Welcome back everyone, and hi to the new viewers. This week we're going to be looking at what's best, steel shackles or the new soft shackles. Please stick around towards the end of the video, as we'll also be doing a big giveaway where you'll get a chance to win some of these goodies and also see a discount code off of winchit.com. I must admit, I didn't know much about these soft shackles before I started some research for this video. They've been around for quite a long time in the boating and yachting world, where obviously they are a great advantage over these because of the weight, and they float. They seem to be catching on now for 4x4, and every video I watched came from Australia. I guess down there they have a lot more need for recovery because they have a lot of big bomb holes and problems to get through. And I must say I really would love to get down to Australia one day to really try out this vehicle or theirs in the outback. Let's look at first of all the traditional bow shackle. Some people call them a Dshackle, but that's not strictly correct because obviously they're not a D, these are a shape of a bow. They come in various weights or strengths I should say. This one is a 3/4 inch and it's a 4 3/4 ton. You also have some smaller ones here, which are the common ones for the 3 1/4 ton, and I've even got this massive huge one here as well, which is a 6 1/2 ton. The shackles are marked with a working limit. As I said, this one is a 4 3/4 ton. You also really should look out for the CE mark on the shackles or some other quality mark, because obviously it's important that you know that these have been tested. So with the CE, obviously that comes with the European certification. It's important to understand there is a difference between the working limit and the breaking limit. Typically they have a 4 to 5 times multiplier to go from the working to the breaking. So for example on this 4 3/4 ton, if we multiply that with the 4 to 5 ratio, that's going to come out around the 20 ton, 23 ton mark as a breaking limit. It's important to understand if these are used incorrectly, they can be extremely dangerous and life-threatening. The real danger of these comes from the weight. When I checked these earlier, this one weighed 950 grams versus the soft shackle, which was only 150 grams. When this starts flying, obviously it's very hard, it's going to smash through anything it comes into contact with. Where this starts flying, it doesn't really hurt at all. Yeah, if it's going to be coming fast, it might do a little bit of damage, but nowhere near as much as something like this. The real big no-no is you should never see this occurring. If you ever have a point when you have two Dshackles connected, and assuming we're going to have cables on either end, this is a massive safety danger. To understand why, it's because we know these things are super strong. They're not going to break. What's going to break is whatever else it's connected to. If you've got it connected to a strap, this is probably going to be the weakest point within your whole winch setup. Even with a strap like this, which has got a weight limit, or a working limit that's been written on here, well, this one actually has a breaking limit of 10 tons. This is actually going to break way before any of these. And what will happen is, if these things are connected together, obviously, your strap breaks, and then this is coming flying through your vehicle or the one in front. As the soft shackles, as I said, are much lighter, we're removing a lot of that danger. They come in various sizes. I've actually got 3 here. This one's a 12.7 ton, this one's a 9.4 ton, and this one's a small one at a 5.8 ton. The markings on here actually are the braking value. This is not the working limit. To actually get to the working limit, that's typically half of the braking on a soft shackle. So in other words, for this 12.7 ton, that's going to come out to be like 6.3, 6.4 tons of working limit. You might say, well, actually that sounds quite low in that case for a working limit. But again, think about what you've actually got in your winch setup. For example, here, I've got the Terra Firma A12000 winch, meaning it's a 12,000 pound pulling capacity. And that equates into kilos of around about 5.5 tons, 5.5 tons of pulling power. So in other words, this at 6.3, 6.4 tons working limit is perfectly fine. That's obviously going to be within the maximum allowance that I could actually pull on this, and also then obviously having the 12.7 ton braking strain, it's very unlikely to break as well. One of the advantages of these being lighter is that they actually float in water. So if you do drop it into a muddy hole when you're trying to attach it around the back of somebody else's vehicle, it's going to float on the surface. Not like these that I know from personal experience, I think maybe even this one here, that ended up dropping down into the mud and you can hardly find it afterwards. You do have to be careful though with them. Have to make sure if you're going to attach them that you attach them to a place that's obviously not got a sharp edge on them. These ones are a newer design. They actually come with a protective anti-chafe sleeve, but again it's not designed so that you can actually put it up against a sharp object. On the front of your vehicle you should have obviously a recovery point. On this one here it's a nice smooth round surface, so we're not going to have any problem either attaching a soft shackle or one of the traditionals. If you ask me what's best, well I actually think it's probably a combination of these two, because if you're worried about any chafing can be a challenge. You want to make sure that you've got your metal shackle. I think is probably best to actually come on your front or rear recovery point where it's directly on the vehicle. As I said, make sure any recovery point is rated and make sure that it's of good quality. So if we pop that one on the front, I would then say recovery point with your strap. Other thing with the bow shackles as well, you do have to make sure that that pin is in securely. They can shake loose if you haven't checked them. And then at the other end, I'd recommend that when we're putting this round either the strap or anything else, so for again example on this, if we're going to be connecting the strap together with something, this is going to go nicely in together here, connect up, and you've got lots of space as well with inside that soft shackle, so you can get everything you like inside there. I think for me now that decision with this on the front or the rear of the vehicle and this on the end of my strap gives me the best value, and also is going to give me the peace of mind for safety. In terms of cost, there's not so much difference anymore. These used to be really quite expensive, but now this one on winch.com, this was I think £14, and this here, the equivalent steel, was £7. So it's about a 2 to 1 price difference. But we're going to be able to help you with that to reduce that difference down, because Chris at winch.com has very kindly given us a discount code, and you'll be able to see hopefully down here in the video or perhaps actually in the description. But if that isn't good enough for you, we're actually going to be giving away this stuff today. So to get your hands on this, what you need to do is, if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe, like this video, and then simply in the comments add red for the red group, yellow for the yellow, and green for the green. And then at the beginning of March, I think I said March the 3rd, we'll actually do a random draw to be able to pick out your names, and we'll contact you through the comment on the YouTube video. Thanks for watching again, and hopefully it won't be long now until we can get out and try out all this lovely new kit, and also the X-Lifter, to see how that suspension's working in the off-road settings it's really meant to be used in. Bye for now. You should never see this occurring. Hang on. Maybe I should do that again. That can be an outtake.